2, 1. Yours was all delayed and shit.
Niggas, no, because I was waiting. I said 3 first, and then you was like 3, and I was like, I said it. Is it 33? Is it 3? Anyways, hey y'all, welcome to Let's Heal podcast, where I am your host, Tella, the Tella. Okay, and we have my co-host here, Yoterryv, Tone.
So what's crazy is I gotta find a way to put my camera over here where I can see you. Oh no, I'm tweaking. I can just move you over here. Okay, my bad. Is it gonna feel weird if I'm not looking at you while I'm talking to you? Like I'm just talking this way and you seeing me this way?
No, yeah, no, totally.
Okay. Because I don't want to break immersion, but I'll be mindful to like look.
I moved mine over here because I was talking. The camera was on the side of me last time, and so
you didn't like
I have
that.
it in front of me, smart. So I could talk to So I was like, why am I keep looking over? Yeah. So, hey, y'all. Cool. Well, little technical difficulties. We'll just keep this in, just in case you want to know more about us. But, yeah, how are you doing?
Shoot.
Welcome to a good therapy Thursday again. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, was you talking to me or was you talking to the
I was just saying.
People.
Did you want to answer? No, because you... Did you want to share though? Like, because this is a safe space. So.
Oh no, I'm
so intrigued.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling good.
Oh, okay. All right, but no, I hope y'all are doing good too. Terry's like, you know what? I'm so glad you asked. But no, I appreciate y'all for being here. We're happy to have y'all here. So the topic today is Tella's love life. Where the fuck is it going?
That's funny.
I'm gonna start a damn series.
That's funny.
My love life. It's a fucking mess. It was kind of cool.
Yeah, what's going on with your love life? Though. Yeah, what's happening? I think we talked about mine. Well, I'm sure we talked about mine. How's yours?
We probably have, but feel free to jump in there.
No, you gotta be.
So
dog.
What's funny? No.
You gotta be dog.
It ain't gonna just be my trauma on the floor. Look, okay, it ain't gonna just be me. But funny enough, me and Tone, we both had very serious relationships this year. Right?
Yeah, we did.
Where it was kind of like, and it's so funny because we had so many conversations offline of just like learning how to be in connections, how to love, how to be open. We talked about vulnerability, not self-sabotaging, and both of those relationships are gone.
That's
them bitches is funny though. Okay, not just playing. I kid. We learned a lot.
No, but still,
that shit's funny though. We did all that shit for what? For what?
It's just crazy how you set it up. Like you set it up so beautifully. Yeah. It was all like, we both grown. We was able to help each other in ministry. And they're done.
That shit flopped. No, the fuck.
Oh
and that was it. That was it.
So,
we helped each other. It was beautiful.
Let's talk about your love life.
Yeah, so anyways, back to, I'm sorry, but no, we learned a lot. And so I say that to say we had a lot of these conversations of like learning how to get through like difficult times, but also not give up on relationships, right? Because we both talked about, and we might dabble in that a little bit today, but like avoiding attachment styles, or, like running away from relationships or wanting to self-sabotage. And I worked through that myself. So I was in my relationship for 5.5 months. How long were you in yours? Was it about the same? It was like 5 months?
Yeah, it was. That's crazy. Yeah, it was.
Crazy.
It was. Yeah.
Crazy. So, y'all watch out for the 5-month mark. I was playing.
Oh, shit.
I just kidding. I kid. Right. Boom. Okay. So.
Go ahead.
No, but for real though, watch out. And so, but yeah, no, we both. So it I don't know, something around after about 2 to 3 months, after about 3 months, I'm like, okay, this is really serious. And I ain't gonna hold you. This sounds really bad. I've only had so many like real serious relationships, and then
Same.
majority, I ain't gonna say majority, a lot of the other people who I haven't been serious with, or I was just trying to see where it was gonna go, or just being open to
Yeah.
dating. It usually only be like 6 weeks, 2 months. You know what I'm saying? So it's something
Yeah.
about getting past the 3rd month mark that I was like, oh my gosh,
This may be
this is my
something.
person. I
Yeah.
don't want to give it up.
I feel
I
like the
don't want to
same.
lose it.
I feel the same. Like I haven't had a lot of like serious relationships, but I've had like situationships. And so like you just like how you were saying, you was all like, all right, this may be the but yeah, go ahead. So I'm just saying, yeah. I agree.
No. It's
I
okay.
agree.
This is where look. This is healing for both sides. And, and so
Yeah.
I don't know. It was something about getting past the 3rd month that was like, oh, you know what? I really need to stick this out. Like I really can't give up on this relationship. I need to push through. Now granted, I knew like I ain't gonna take no BS, but unfortunately, I learned that in love, I I know I'm not gonna take no BS. You see, I'm stumbling over my words because I know I'm not supposed to take no BS. But in a relationship, and you're trying to work with somebody through their trauma and the things that they went through,
Yeah.
you willing to deal with some BS, right? You just got to know who's you willing to deal with and how much of it you're willing to deal with.
Yeah, because every
You know what I'm
relationship
saying?
isn't going to be like magical or fantasy. Like you're going to have to go through, rough patches with that person
Something.
as y'all try to like groove together to fit this groove together. It takes that that back and forth. So
It takes
yeah,
some
you're gonna
time.
have that in
It takes some
relationship. Yeah,
time.
I feel yeah.
Yeah. And so I'll say on the good side of this relationship, it showed me that I actually know how to be a partner. I think for a while, I
Okay.
would tell myself that like, I wouldn't say that I thought I was a bad partner.
Uh huh.
I just was like, I don't know how to put it. This sounds so bad, but I knew I wanted to be a partner,
Yeah.
but it was something about a serious relationship that I just at some point I just thought was not going to be for me, and or I thought that like
Huh.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to get exactly what I wanted.
I
Like I
feel
always felt like
like
I had to
didn't
was
know
going to
like
settle.
I say for me it was all like I didn't know like what role I would be able to play and how I would show up. Like for me it was like how would I show up in this relationship? Like am I gonna be especially because it's been a while since I've been in a serious relationship and like it was like situationships and even situationships that that may have just been like just talking phase and we just never got past that or anything like that. But just wondering how I was gonna show up in this relationship, in terms of like with it being new again, am I, how present am I going to be? Am I going to thinking about the things that happened in the past and like all of this? So I get you. Like there was a point where I was in my head when I was in that stage too, because I didn't want to mess it up. And basically I didn't want to
Right.
self-sabotage.
Right.
So I'm all like, how do I go about this thing, making sure that I'm clear minded, that I'm being open and honest with, myself and her and just how I'm moving. And communication was like one of the big things that helped us through what we was going through that phase. Because like being honest and being
Yeah.
vulnerable, like it's been a while. A lot of this stuff I gotta
Relearn.
relearn. Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
And it's always tell people it's a difference from um, knowledge and applied knowledge. I know a lot of stuff, but sometimes putting it into practice is it's a different ball game because I'm having to go up against my
yeah,
own trauma, habits, my own implicit and explicit bias, right?
yeah,
And so, but it showed me that I knew how to be a partner. Because also, I think now that we're talking about it and I'm able to process a little bit more, especially over these last few years, I've been so focused on my career.
yeah,
And so love has all these last few years have been on the back burner. And the last time I was in a really serious connection, it impacted my career, right? Like I wasn't doing what I do now. Like I wasn't as creative. I wasn't, taking risks and stuff like that because what I learned, and if you know me, you probably have seen me talk about this before, but when I do chakra work, right, in our chakra, the sacral chakra has love and relationships and creativity are in the same pocket of this chakra. And what ends up happening is if you give to your creativity will always feed you. if you give to a healthy relationship, it's going to feed you. But if you give to an unhealthy relationship, not only is it going to take from your love, it's also going to take from your creativity. And so one of my biggest fears is getting into another relationship where my creativity is impacted. Why? Because I'm arguing with you, I'm fighting with you, we having all this toxic, and it don't always have to be toxic, but it's just like draining situations that take from me energetically, so I can't really show up. I can't, do the thing. So that was one of my biggest fears, is that I didn't want a relationship to stop me or hinder me during my career phase, right? So then I was like, well, how would I show up as a partner? Because I'm like, if I can't do it all, then I'm not going to do it at all, right? But I had to learn, or one of the things I learned was like, actually, I know how to find a healthy balance in love, like where my career is still very important, but my partner, like I knew how to make space for my partner. So that made me feel good. Like, okay, wait, I know I'm going to know how to do this, and I don't have to be scared of love as I'm pursuing my dreams. You know what I'm saying? So that was the good side of it. Right?
And I was gonna say, because you have been doing your thing too, so I was gonna give round of applause. You've been doing your thing. You've been going crazy.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. And so I'm just, so I learned a lot through this relationship. So I'm gonna talk about the good and the bad, okay? Because there was a lot of good, but that motherfucking bad was grabbing a bitch by her braids. It was, you know what I'm saying? Shorty wasn't finna have no edges in a second.
Wow.
Like, let me go, please, unhand me.
Yeah, that is the beautiful thing about relationships. Like my sister said, if you go through a relationship and you didn't learn nothing, then that says a lot more about you, because in these relationships that you go through, you learn something about yourself. I mean, obviously learn something about other people, but you learn a lot about yourself too. So,
right? No, it's a lot of introspection and reflection and stuff, to say the least. Because as much as I know I'm done with the relationship, I also had to realize that I had to be done with a version of me that attracted a motherfucker like that. Right? So, honestly, I ain't gonna hold you on a broader way. I know that I healed a cycle. Like I have a cycle, or I feel like I ain't gonna say have. There's a cycle in my relationships where I attract a certain type of person, right? And I think that was another one of my fears, is that I kept attracting like very narcissistic men. And so I'm like, oh shit, I don't know if I want to keep dating until I figure this, you know what I'm saying? Because I want to keep attracting this person or this energy. And so with this person that I just ended a relationship with, I feel like it helped me to complete a cycle, because now I know why I was attracting that type of person, right? Which I'm gonna get to in a second. But now that I know that, I can heal that part of me. Yeah. And I really didn't realize until he came along, but that now I can start attracting differently. You know what I'm saying? Because he showed me. And I said, ooh.
Okay, go ahead.
That shit go ahead. Because I can't deal with that. But with that being said, so the relationship, it was such an intriguing relationship, because it was one of like the best relationships I've been in.
The thing keep going out. Like, you back now. I got you now, but I missed what you said.
Okay. Oh, okay. Do you see how they hating on us? It's a new moon too. No, right. It's a new moon, so that it's a lot of things happening in the cosmos. But okay, so boom, like it was one of the best relationships. Okay. And also probably one of the worst relationships I've ever been in. And it was so weird.
You got the best of both, the best in the world.
I got the best of both worlds. It was such an intriguing relationship.
Yeah, what made it that way?
Okay. So I was telling my mom this. I said he was doing all of the right stuff, but secretly, or like, it was a very spiritual relationship, so I'm gonna try to not make it too spiritual. But look, if we go there, just follow me.
I'm with you. We riding.
You know what I'm saying?
Click there.
But it was like he was doing all the right stuff in front of me, but in the background, he was draining my energy. Right?
Okay. And doing all the right stuff in front of you, but behind the scenes was draining your energy.
Like, And it was so weird because I'm like, I don't know how to explain it. Because even when it was happening, I'm like, well, I mean, he helps me with stuff. He takes me places. We go out on dates. We laugh together. We have fun together. He's good with my son. He's good with my family.
Oh,
But there
yeah.
is something that's happening in the background. And I don't want to go as far as to say he was gaslighting me, but I think probably that played a part in it too. But the only reason I wouldn't say that is because he actually did all the things that he said he was going to do. The problem was when it was just me and him. I mean, man, I ain't never had somebody ask me to do so many things in a short amount of time. Like, in real time. At first, I would joke with him about it, but I'm like, you real life asked me to do, like, at least 6 things in the same time period. Like, this one, I brought an example. It was driving somewhere, and he was like, hey, I need you to roll a blunt. Oh, look up this restaurant. Oh, I need you to go look on Instagram and get this thing. Like, in real time, just like back to back. I said, babe, you just asked me to do 6 things.
Oh, so.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay.
And so at first, we was joking, but I said, oh, that's what you do. Like, you have these unhealthy expectations for me, right? And you expect me to do things at the drop of a dime.
Yeah.
And because he did the things that I wanted him to do, I was willing to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't really, like, it kind of didn't make no sense to be arguing with a man who helps you out. You know what I'm saying? It does the things that you want. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. Because what I'm hearing you say this, I'm thinking also like that's but that's typically how relationships go, right? In terms of like, you provide this and this for me, and because you provide this for me, and because I love you, like I'll do X, Y, and Z.
Right.
I think the thing is though, like you were saying earlier, it just comes down to like, all right, how much of that person can you take? And are they providing for you? Like, because again, like not everything's gonna be perfect, but if it starts to be like, all right, I see that this is a need that you have, and I can't fulfill that within myself, then it's like, all right, what are we gonna do going forward? Because again, I think that's where the communication comes in. Like once you start to recognize that, that's happening, it's like, all right, let's call this out and let's discuss it, because you do this, and I understand that that's a part of you, and I'm not trying to change you, but when you do this, this is how I feel. So based on this, what are we going to do with these pieces? Yeah.
Like, it was so crazy because I'm like, damn, am I tweaking? Because I couldn't, like I said at first, I couldn't really put my finger on it. I'm like, it's not that he's like this bad man, which I'll get to in a second. But he did have a bit of a temper, which I'll get to that in a second. But on the surface, he's not a bad man. Like I said, he's doing all the right things.
Yeah.
But it was like, I'm exhausted. Why am I exhausted if he's doing all the right things? Right? Why am I so tired? And so energetically, it would just, like I said, he would drain me. Whether he would ask me to do a lot of things, he would expect me to do a lot of things. If I did not do those things, he would, be
lash
like,
out,
man, or try to like chastise me, and like it was very subtle, whether it was like little jabs at me and or sarcastic jokes that really wasn't a joke, right?
Oh,
and so
yeah. So becoming like passive aggressive and stuff like that. Yeah, like
you know what I'm saying? So it's like, what's we doing? What are you doing?
That'd be the worst, because it'd be like, hey, come out and say what you really want to say. Like stop with the like Kendrick to Drake. Stop with the subliminals, nigga. Kick that shit.
Look at the shirt. Look at the shirt, okay? I got my mans on the shirt for not for no reason. I'm a straight shooter. Okay, you know me. So you know how many arguments we got into when I'm like, what is you?
Yeah.
I'm just making a joke. Are you sure?
So what was y'all attachment styles?
So mine's. So this was really intriguing as you said that. So we actually sat down and went through them. Mine's are, my main one right now is avoidant attachment. The one I grew up with, and I've healed a lot through, is anxious attachment.
Yeah.
His was real life, all four of them, but specifically the dysregulated one, where it's like where you dealt with a lot of neglect and abuse. So therefore, you have this really like, excuse me, push and pull relationship. You kind of want people to prove their love to you, right?
Okay.
And then
Okay.
if they don't, you run away, right? Which is exactly what would happen. Is that if I didn't do exactly what he needed me to do when he needed me to do it, then it would be this big blow up. Now on the trauma side, I understand that, right? Because with my mental health background, I can understand. Oh, you dealt with neglect, so therefore you need somebody to give you consistent, overly consistent reassurance by doing everything that you need, so that way you can feel loved, right? And knowing that that's an area you have to heal. On a relationship girlfriend side, that is control, right? So, and a form of manipulation, because if I don't do exactly what you want,
then
when you
start
want
to
it,
behave and flip out like, okay,
you know what I'm saying?
That's
So then going back to like I was saying before, the whole notion of he was doing all the right things, but he was draining my energy. It was like he could be like, look, I did this for you, I did this for you, I did this for you. This is the least you could do. And it's like, I'm like, this is a lot. Like, this is a lot. You ask a lot of me, and you expect me to do it, and or you're going to be upset. And so, before I keep going, I start getting flashbacks of old relationships, specifically the one that I had when I was married, and I started getting flashbacks. And I used to wonder, because when I was younger, my son's dad, we kind of had a similar relationship, but my son's dad, I felt very drained in that relationship too. Like, and then I stopped following my dreams and so on and so forth. And I always used to wonder, like, how the hell did I get in that relationship? Like, there's no way I got myself in that relationship. But as I was in this one, I said, oh, that's what I was doing.
Why
you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, that's how it happened.
Yeah, why you say that?
Because I could see it playing itself out again.
Oh my God!
It was very crazy. Like, I would have flashbacks of me at my first apartment with my son's dad, and I'm like, why am I having flashbacks? And like hearing similar songs that I would listen to.
Hold on, yeah, it cut out again. So you said what would happen?
Okay. All right, so boom. Like I said, it would have me having like flashbacks and shit of like past situations. Oh, so one of the things, I wasn't really following my dreams back when I was with my son's dad, but I used to always wonder, like, why wasn't I?
Yeah.
But now I started to recognize when people are trying to control you or like shelter you, one, you walking on eggshells, right? And then you trying to like make them happy, and then two, you start to feel like very like small, right? So I'll start feeling very like trapped and like and there's nothing wrong with being a clingy partner, but he was a little overly clingy at times, so it'd be like I feel like I couldn't, if I went somewhere, he came. You know what I'm saying? Which is not a bad thing. It was all the time.
All
so
the time,
like,
and you felt
I didn't
like
really
you
get
couldn't
to
get a second to you. Do you think that's because of, because you had mentioned something like in terms, or not something, but you mentioned your career and going after and chasing after your career at this time, like you were working on your career, or currently. But then also you mentioned like that anxious, avoidant attachment style. And my attachment style was anxious avoidant. And so one of the things we can do as anxious avoidance is that like once we receive like sometimes like our partner wants a lot of attention or a lot of our time, sometimes that can make us feel like, all right, my personal space is being infiltrated and I need space to like back out. So do you think that played more? But also I know as a creator, like you're always on the move, you're always on the go, and you have to, because especially if this is your main hustle or one of your side hustles, you want it to grow, and you can't always just be like readily available because an opportunity may appear and I gotta go do this thing, because so you think it played more to your avoidant attachment style, or that was more so because of the career?
No, I think it probably was because like the career, when it came to the career stuff, like I didn't mind getting the support, like him being there
Okay.
and everything. It actually was nice, but definitely with the avoidant piece of like I have to have a healthy balance of seeing my partner and then also being alone, right? Because I
Gotcha.
noticed, even though, you know, I was very mindful of like not to be avoidant, if I
Gotcha.
get too overwhelmed, it's going to be like, I don't want to feel engulfed by love either, right? So like I don't,
That's a good thing.
it's beautiful, you know what I'm saying? Like it's beautiful to have lots of attention,
Yeah.
but it's different from having lots of attention and being smothered or engulfed with it, right?
Yeah.
And so it was kind of like, okay, we would spend literally almost every day together, shit, just about, and it would be like a couple days where he wouldn't, you know, be at the house or I wouldn't be with him, and so even though I'd be like, oh, I miss him so much, it was like, whew,
Yeah.
all right, because I like it's a lot of attention, but also, like I said, I had to recognize even outside of me just spending a lot of time together, when we were together, he would ask me to do a lot of shit, like, you know what I'm saying, just randomly. And so it would just be so crazy, like, okay. And like I said, we're doing fun things, so I got to give credit where credit is due.
Yeah.
He taking me places with, you know, so it was like, oh, just do it, you know what I'm saying? Because me personally, as bad as this, I ain't gonna say I don't think it's a bad thing, but I got to be mindful of who I do it with. But being submissive, I'm a very submissive person, and I remember he told me that. He was just like, yeah, you're really submissive. Like, you know, he was like, I'm actually surprised how submissive you are. And I was like, oh yeah, like I'm not. I think sometimes with my for lack of better words, with my bad bitch demeanor, I feel like people think that I just, you know, like I'm just like this. I ain't gonna say a horrible person, but like I'm a brat. And am I? Yes, but I'm very much like you give to me, I give to you, right?
Yeah.
You know, in all the ways. And I'm like, like I said, if you're doing all the right stuff, I'm not gonna tell you no that much. However, boundaries are important, and I had to recognize that for myself.
Yeah.
Just because I am submissive, that does not mean I have to do every single thing.
Just because
that
you are submissive, yeah. Like this,
you know what I'm saying?
Like just because a person is helpful doesn't mean you should continue.
Don't mean you take advantage of them.
Yeah, I think that's in Proverbs. Don't go to your brother. Paraphrasing, but don't go to your brother, you know, very often unless he get tired of you. You know, like when you continue just ask, like no overdoing it. Yeah, like those.
And it's using.
No, go ahead.
At a point. No. I was going to say you're using a person at a point.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, it's like though you know that somebody's willing to do something for you, like it's don't become overbearing. Like I remember, and this is like not to sidetrack, but I remember like the first time I told my uncle no, because he just know that when if he asked me for something, I was gonna do it. The first time I told this man no, he said okay, but we talked about it. He was all like, "Hey man, I was shocked." So like he really said no, but I had to respect it, and that's why that relationship. I drew the boundary. He respected the boundary, and that's why that relationship continued to go on. But like I feel it. I feel exactly what you say. Like just because you know, like this person will do that for you, doesn't mean that you should continually go and just keep going back to this person in order to get that from them because you don't want to overstay your shit. Yeah, I feel you. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. And so so it was literally that. And so I was like, okay, but I was, you know, look. I'm not a quitter, right? I mean, you know, if I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try to see it all the way through. Yeah. But another thing I learned is that it's okay for things to end too, right? Like I can know when it's time to quit, and know that that's not like me quitting because I'm giving up, but me quitting because I'm changing.
Yeah,
it's ran its course, right? And so I should have been did that, anyways. But Anywho, so fast forward, so I can get through the story. So, like I said, the relationship, we would kind of like argue and fight a lot, but we also had these really, really good moments. So it's kind of hard to really know if I was coming or going, which is a thing in toxic relationships. It's been a long time since I've been in a serious one, but it's like this constant high and low, right, where you are arguing and fighting, and then you're happy, you're taking pictures, you're loving on each other. So it's like these big extremes. And I was like, this is not, I said, this is not healthy. And so anyways, we had like at least like a week. It was like just, we were communicating, we was getting along, all this stuff, right? And the the way the relationship ended, and I always have to say this because it's such a crazy ending, but it also it encompasses everything I was saying.
Okay.
Like, and and it helps me every time I think about the way that we ended. I say, oh yeah, like I only could be too sad. Then I think about the ending. I'm like, oh hell no, right? So
that shit must have blew what because.
No, but it's so simple that's what blows me. So we broke up. So I was going to a friend's event or whatever, and so and I'm a try to keep it light because just I don't know who gonna hear this or listen to it. So I was going to a friend's event, and the nigga he was at rehearsal or whatever, and I don't know, I left. I wasn't really feeling that good, and I was like talking to my mom on the phone when I was leaving out. She lives with me, but I was talking to her like while I was leaving out and driving. And so when I was driving, and I like to give full details here so you can imagine with me, I'm driving and I got a car that has like a dashboard where you can see the GPS and everything, right?
Okay.
But it only shows up if you have a certain charger connected to it, right?
Okay.
So the charger that helps me see my dashboard is in the man's car who's at rehearsal. So I had to get this little rinky-dink one from the corner store. That one only charges your phone. It don't Bluetooth. It don't do none of that.
Gotcha.
It just only charges your phone. I live in Texas, if you don't know. Texas, people do it. I don't think it's very smart for you to be driving and, staring super close to your phone. With
hell
GPS.
no! Down there the way they drive,
I don't even.
Hell no.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm used to the dashboard. The dashboard, I be feeling like a spoiled brat because I can't. So, anyways, I say that to say the only way I could see the GPS was on my phone, which was on this little like sticky thing by the heater area. Yeah. And so I'm like, having to look and keep looking to see what the damn next thing is. And I can't see if anybody texts me. Only thing I can see if somebody calls me, right? I say all that to say, the man texted me while I was driving and was like, hey, what time are you going to the event or whatever? And I was like, I said, oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I'm driving and I don't have the charger, so I didn't see your text when you text me. I said, I'll be there. I'm heading there now. And I said, actually, I'll be there probably in like 10 minutes. He texts me back and says, why you didn't tell me when you left the house? And I said, oh. And I was like, oh, I said, it just slipped my mind. I said, my apologies, so on and so forth, right? Yeah. The man then texts me, or no, he calls me. I tell him, like, I get to the event or whatever. He calls me and was like, in real attitude, aggressive mode, and was like, so we not calling or texting before we leave the house, or telling when you leave the house. And I said, now mind you, I'm in. Let me set this up for you. The event that I'm in. You know what I'm saying? And not that I would even do this with black people in general, just like if it was a room of black people. Yeah. But I'm in a very multicultural room. Okay.
Okay.
There's Caucasians and Indians and Hispanic. Like, I'm in a multicultural room, and you're trying to argue with me on the phone, G. And so I'm like, babe, I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm at the thing, I forgot, right?
Right.
And so, anyways, he hangs up, right? He's mad. He hangs up. He asks me what the address is and how he about to come pull up so we can talk. And he want to come to the art show too. I said, gee, no, you're trying to argue with me. And I said, you're trying to argue with me because I didn't let you know when I left the house, which is crazy, right? Yeah. So boom, he like, I said, please, I just want to have a good time at this event or whatever. He's like, okay, bet, have fun. Right, I knew that have fun had some
it was something behind
argumentiveness.
It.
Yeah. And so fast forward to I'm at the event. I got there at like 5. I leave at like 7:30ish. I call him. He don't answer. Now, the first thing that popped in my head was, this nigga still mad about what happened earlier. But in my head, I'm like, that's stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would he be that upset just because I did not text you when I left the house?
Right.
It's not like we didn't talk. Like, you knew where I was at.
Right.
You knew I was going there.
Right.
Like, it can't be that bad of a situation. I call. I get to blowing his phone up. Like, look, and I tell both sides. Okay, I was blowing that thing up. All right, it should have been overheated. Okay, and call both phones. I don't give a damn, right? And so I'm calling, but at some point too, he always answers. So at some point, I'm nervous because he got out of rehearsal like 3 hours ago. So like, where are you at? After like, I don't even know what number. I ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna put that out there because just in case this resurfaces later on. But whatever number I was on, I'm at this point I'm real nervous. Like, I'm like, damn, do I need to go pull up at his house? Like, what the fuck? What's going on? He finally texts back and was like, oh, I got out of rehearsal. I said, rehearsal ended at 5:30. He like, oh no, I had a second rehearsal. I said, okay. And then I'm like, well, why wasn't you answering? Why was you responding?
Yeah.
And he says, well, you didn't answer when I called you, so I didn't answer when you called me. And I said, I literally was at a party and I didn't want to argue with you. I said, that's not the same thing. And he was like, it's the same thing to me, right? And so we going toe to toe. So at this point, I'm like, gee, do you even want to be in this relationship? Like, we can leave right now, right? Mm-hmm. But then going back to the avoided piece, I said, okay, wait. Because I'll leave a relationship in a second.
You want to leave?
Said, okay.
My bag's packed.
No, yeah, that's why I said, okay, hold on, wait, hold on, girl. Now, so I said, what is it? I said, what's going on? Right. Is there something going on? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, please talk to me. And he was like, no. I said, are you really want to break up over this? Like, this is what you want to break up over? And he was like, yep. I said, okay. All right. And so anyways, the nigga's watching my stories as we speak. But like, what's the point? G, like, what? My man's, are you okay? But I feel like he feels guilty about the shit. But he hasn't tried to reach out or no shit like that, so I just let it be what it is. But I feel like, because one of the things I told him, I said, like, you're very controlling. And I noticed that, and like I said, I kept trying to, overcompensate for it or just like overlook it. But like I said, it was a slow burn. So it would have been one of them things where he would have kept doing the right things, but at some point it would have either sucked me dry and/or I feel like the mask would have came off fully. I ain't gonna hold you. No shade to bro ass if you listening, but he was wearing a mask because you're really this person, but you're showing up as this person. And when I tell you, it would be so crazy. And I've told him this to his face, so I don't get no fuck. We literally would be, and I know some relationships go like this, but I don't want one. He would literally be like mean to me or have a attitude with me all day. And then we get in front of people, and he is the nicest motherfucker. He talk like, and I'm like, gee, what the fuck? So I said, at some point, that's going to come full circle, and not only am I going to see that he's a different person, everybody around me is going to see, right? And by that time, it's going to be, I ain't going to say it's going to be too late, but I ain't trying to put myself in a predicament like that. So I had to get about that jam, and I ain't going to hold you, because this is where I have to take accountability. I had like 2 big spiritual warnings. One was this reading I got when I was in Minnesota from one of my friends, and she, mind you, it was random. I didn't set it up or nothing. She was like, can I do a quick reading on you? I'm just trying to practice it. Man, that was I ain't never had no goddamn reading like that before in my life. Okay. Ancestors and shit coming through the reading. And then my sister-in-law had a dream about like him trying to cipher my energy 3 times back to back. So needless to say, I was very much warned about it. I ain't gonna say I wanted to see it for myself, but I knew if I would have left sooner than what I did, I would have thought that I was leaving because I was being avoidant. You know what I'm saying? Or I was self-sabotaging. But now, since I waited to see it all the way through, I could recognize, I was dealing with a emotionally abusive man. You know what I'm saying? So,
Like, so I hear that, and then I think about a couple of things. Like
Mm.
one, like relationships. All right, it's like sometimes like in relationships, you don't know what you want in a relationship until you actually go through one. Like, you don't
Mm-hmm.
know bad until you experience the bad, and then you see that you don't want bad. Just like with tasting food, you don't know what cuisines you can
Right.
eat, what cuisines are gonna rock with that you may love, or that you may not love. So like, I feel like one thing in relationships. I remember talking to my cousin about this. Usually when you go through something bad, you want to be like, dang, I wish I never went through that. And it's like, as messed up or bad as this may sound, like sometimes you got to go through that to see it, because it has to.
No, for real.
Yeah, and it's like
For
sometimes it
for
has to
real.
break that illusion that you have, because sometimes we get fond of things for the wrong reasons, or you don't know enough, or you don't spend enough time. Like sometimes we rush into things, or sometimes you just may be holding on to this fantasy or this hope that you have in this person,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't want to let that
Or
go.
potential.
But you have
Right.
to go through it to understand, like, what you want out of it. So I hear you say that, and I think of that. I also think about.
Wait, real quick before you jump from that. That's
Mm,
so good because um I find myself in that spot very often of like, oh wait, this is what I want. I want a family, and this is what comes with it. But
yeah,
understanding that it's not damn, what did you say that like? Oh, I've lost my train of thought. But it's like not falling in love with the fantasy, but falling in love with the
yeah,
person,
yeah,
right? Because since I was like, oh, he can do all these things,
yeah,
I'm seeing the potential of him showing up as this person, but he's showing up as the person that I'm seeing,
yeah,
right? And I
yeah.
have to look at him in real time, not the person he was 3 months ago or 5 months ago.
Hmm.
He's this person right now. And granted, love evolves, of course. So I want to be very clear about that. And we should accept people for whoever they are if we're going to be committed to the relationship.
Right.
Um, and I had to recognize that the person who I fell in love with
Hmm.
was not the person who I had been experiencing, right? And know when like there's the what do I want to say? The character.
Hmm.
This is not the person. This is not the same person, right?
Yeah.
And I fell in love with the idea,
Of
or
the yeah,
the
I say
not even
that.
the idea. I fell in love with the person who I was with those
Well,
first couple of weeks, and
I
then tried to
well,
go
I
ahead.
mean, so I feel it's two things. Like, cause me as somebody who romanticizes, or like who can romanticize and fantasize relationships, like sometimes that happens where I'm like romanticizing this situation that I'm in, or this situation that we're in, and it's all like I tend to look like past what's in front of me, and then I just like rely on just like on what it could be and the potential of what this may be. The
Right.
other thing, um is that sometimes you meet people, like, again, I feel like we meet people like for a reason. It's either to show them things, to help them with something. Like maybe him being with you were able to help
Oh,
motivate him in his thing, and or vice versa. Like, so sometimes that relationship comes into your life for a reason, and then once it ends, it's like all right, it's not a slack on anybody's part. It's just more or less, all right, what do I learn from this, and how can I
and what do I take
utilize this
away?
going forward? Yeah, going forward. Yeah.
No, no, no. That's exactly, and that's what the part that I was trying to get to, and I couldn't think of it. Yes. So, like I was saying at the beginning,
Mhm.
one of the things that was really helpful for me, and that's why I only can fault him so much. One, I had spiritual warnings. I mean, and I have to tell you them offline.
No, no, I got you.
Just because, you know what I'm saying, the shit's so damn deep that it's crazy.
Yeah,
Okay, you have to pay extra because that shit it's too new.
that's going on the
Um,
Patreon.
that's going on a Patreon. Y'all want me to break? If y'all want me to break down the and I ain't gonna hold you, the reading and the dreams that they had
Yeah.
was so on point, G,
Uh
and
huh.
how they was showing up. And they didn't even show up in all the big ways that they talked about. They showed up in very small, subtle ways that I said, "Oh shit, I can see what they was talking about." The shit was it was so
Uh,
crazy. And
yeah.
so
Bless the
yeah,
sinner
like
that
I couldn't,
believes and hears.
you know what I'm saying? And granted, I'm a spiritual bitch myself. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So I'm like, I don't like to negate when I get spiritual information, but I'm also like, well, I want to, I don't want to make my choice based off of just a reading or a dream. But when that fucking reading and dream start to come alive, I said, oh, let me trust my intuition a little bit more. And so, yeah, but anyways, outside of the warnings, but also my intuition and my body was sending me signals like out the ass, right? But I just was like, no, I gotta wait. And granted, I am very happy that I stayed till when I did. Like, I ain't gonna go back. Well, I'm glad I stayed till when I did, because what happened, like I said before, is now with me leaving, I have no regrets. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know it was supposed to happen for a reason. I know I was supposed to be in that relationship for a reason. I know it was supposed to end that way. Yeah. Because now I can make peace with that. But also on a personal level, what I had to recognize is the ways in which I hold myself back. Right. So we mirrored each other in a lot of ways. Like, he helped me to see, like you just talking about, he helped me to see myself. Yeah. And so I could recognize, just like how I felt like he would be holding me back, I had to recognize, oh, bitch, you holding yourself back too. Right. He would be really mean to me and have these unhealthy expectations for me. Guess what? So do I. I have very unhealthy expectations for myself. You know what I'm saying? And so I was able to recognize, even down to like perfectionism. Like, he would sometimes expect me to be perfect and not make mistakes, and literally has told me I have no room for mistakes. And it was like, nigga, are you okay? You know what I'm saying? And granted, I think that was also him learning how much he expects from people and how unhealthy that is, like, for me to call it out. But it also helped me to recognize that, like, I attracted somebody like him because that's how I treat myself, right? That's how I show up. And so it helped me to, and maybe not to the same exact degree, but when we are in unhealthy relationships, right, or karmic relationships, or whatever you want to call it, it's showing a mirror. And so I had to be able to not only take the hit from the relationship, but see the mirror and be like, damn, all right, cool, I need to work on this, because like I said, I want to attract different, but that means that I have to be different. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I only have so much of, I don't fuck with the nigga. You know what I'm saying? I can put that on wax. I don't think I have like bad blood with him, because I understand what it was meant for. Yeah. But it's one of those situations where, like, what's that song? Thank You Next by Ariana Grande. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't heard that one, but I feel you.
Yeah, it's a girl song. You know what I'm saying? But it's a breakup song, right? It's up there with Chris Brown, Say Goodbye. It's up there. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so, but no, it just talks about, like, being able to thank your exes for the lessons that they taught you, and then you can move on. And so now I feel like I ain't got no, even though it's like, oh, I'm sad because I liked having a man, I also realize that I can wait for the right one. Yeah. No, don't worry about that. I can wait for that. I think
that's, I mean, you know, being patient is important, because that's truly is how you find, or at least from what I've heard, that's how you find the person you're meant to be with. But I feel like, yeah, that's relationships. If you don't know what you want, like, some people get lucky off top, or some people just come together and just have that understanding and that willpower to work through the relationship. But, you know, sometimes it doesn't always work that way. But I think that's the important thing. It's like to take a lesson, or to be able to learn from it. Like, I'm thankful, like, when I broke up, or when we had broken up earlier this year, I was thankful that how it ended, it wasn't like no malice, or how or, you know, or like, I hate you, or you have me fucked up. It was none of that. It was just like hey, we just, you know, hey, this isn't working. Like, needs aren't being met here. Things aren't being fulfilled here. I think it's, you know, we better if we, you know, take some time, figure stuff out, and then, you know, if we come back, we come back. And yeah, because a lot of the times it's ended elsewhere. And I truly feel like even with meeting her, like, that was one of the people that encouraged me and helped me see, like, the positive, and taking care of your mental health, and, like, for real, and then, like, working and meeting with a therapist. Like, without her, I don't know if I fully pursue it like I was doing. So that was,
Right.
out of that, I gained that, at the very least, outside of, some good times, some good moments, some laughs, and, things like
Right.
that. But
Right.
yeah, it's the next one. Hopefully, I'm a lot more prepared, or I feel like
No
I will
facts
because
though.
that's what all of this is. This is what all this work is, and also being able to find somebody, or not even find somebody. Like when it happens, it happens. But more than
Mhm.
anything, like I'm working on my mental health now, and then I'm still, like you saying, pursuing dreams and working on my craft to like fulfill that side of me, so that the person that I meet, I'm not meeting them to fulfill me, but to just be like to aid on to me, to be like a help
Yeah,
on to
just to
me.
support.
Okay.
Yeah. And so yeah, we might have to do a part two to this or something. But no, it was
Yeah.
this is such a good conversation because I just think it's really important for us to learn how to have healthy goodbyes. And even if we don't
Yeah.
have a healthy goodbye, just know how to say goodbye
Yeah.
and
That's
get
the
the fuck
important thing.
on, right? You know what I'm saying? Because once, and I learned this real quick, and before we close out,
Hmm.
I'm learning that like sometimes you're not gonna get the pretty goodbye,
Nope.
but as long as you recognize the lesson, that what you needed is right there. Like I don't need
Exactly.
no
Yeah.
closure. I got the closure
Yeah.
from how bad the situation got. That's the closure I
But
needed,
even then,
right?
yeah, like you
You
said,
know?
knowing when to say goodbye, and you have to know that for yourself, because
Mm-hmm.
it's you in the situation, but also it's like, yeah, it's also a lens to your mental health too. Like we meet fucked up people and come in fucked up situations, but perspective is big, and also learning from it is big too, because it'll help you, like you said, with closure, just like how you were saying.
Mm-hmm. And one of my I ain't gonna hold you. The nigga did give me a gift to leave. He gave us his dog.
Ah,
So I'll take that. Look, and I like the dog.
you got a gift too.
I got a gift out the thing, but I gotta go feed my gift. So I
Got
gotta go
you,
run to Petco before it closed.
got
But
you,
this is a
got
great
you.
conversation. I appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all for listening.
Yeah,
If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Follow us both on Teleworks and King Industries,
yeah.
and then Vincent on Instagram, and Tella1 on Instagram as well.
Yoterryv, yeah.
Um, you know what I'm saying? Nothing
Yeah,
too crazy. We
right,
gonna put our
right.
little our shits at the bottom. All right, and we will be back with another Let's Heal podcast. All right, see you soon.
Peace.